Hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and if you're not already following me on Twitter, go ahead and do that. Subscribe to the channel. Bitcoin is currently still in its green box. If you watch the technical analysis deep dive from Saturday, you'll know that I haven't ruled out a sweep of this low or some sort of double bottom form in here, so keep an eye on that for now. Interestingly though, we have this situation. So I got here the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and this is for the exchange Coinbase. The reason I brought this up is because every time we get one of these big volume spikes, it usually coincides with a major top or a major bottom for Bitcoin. So you can see here that every time we get one of these, it lines up with either a major top or a major bottom. And so given that we've come down into this low as a downtrend and we've got this big volume spike, then this is usually a very, very reliable indicator. You can see that whenever you get a large volume spike, it always coincides with a top or a bottom. And so it stands to reason that we may well have seen the low for Bitcoin, although of course we could come down and make one more bigger volume bar, one more lower low. But this is historically an incredibly reliable indicator. Got some stuff from T-Analyst here. This also is looking incredibly likely that we might be about to complete one of these moves higher. And this would also be up into my purple box that I've been banging on about for ages. We have this as well. Whenever you get a touch into this green box, it usually signifies a low, or that the low is very, very close and we are moved in there. So are we going to see this round and the price move up? Most probably. And lastly, more from T-Analyst. I think I've shown this before as well. We've got these major lows formed down here, and whenever you get a breach and recover, that typically aligns with major bottoms for Bitcoin. So we shall see. Things are looking alright, I think. I found this from Altcoin Daily and I thought I'd share it. It says accumulate 0.28 Bitcoin and hold it for 10 years, thank me later. You might be wondering where this number comes from. If you've been in the space a long time, you'll know. But this is a ballpark figure. Because if you take the total supply of Bitcoin, 21 million, and divide it by 7.5 billion people, the population of the planet, you get 0.0028. This is all the Bitcoin there is if everyone owns some. If you divide the total hard cap supply by the global population, this is all there is available for people to own. So owning 0.28 will put you in the top 1% of the wealth for Bitcoin. My dog's just bringing me the post. Thank you, dog. Good boy. But then it got me thinking, we have 7.9 billion. That 7.5 billion calculation was a little while ago. We've got 7.9 billion now. And also, the 21 million, I reduced to 17 million coins. And the reason for this is you can take away 1 million straight away for Satoshi's coins. Satoshi's coins aren't going to move. And you can take away another 3 million coins for the coins that have been taken out of circulation permanently by people losing them in the early days. So I propose that we can modify this calculation to make it slightly more accurate using an up-to-date figure for the population and an up-to-date total supply number based on that we know 3 million coins are missing and Satoshi's never going to move his 1 million. And you get this number here. So in summary, if you own 0.22 Bitcoin, you can be the new 1% in 2030. This is probably the last time I'm going to speak on Luna. I wasn't involved in this coin, but I'm kind of, I don't know about you, I feel bad for the people that have lost money on it, but I just at the same time I'm sick of seeing it. It's just been dominating my Twitter feed for feels like forever now. But Luna's circulating supply did a 19,000x in 4 days, so this is hyper inflation. And anything that undergoes hyperinflation is completely worthless. You can see the chart here of the supply. I mean, so anyway, why show you this? Well, because Luna at $1, given the new supply, would equal a market cap 13 times bigger than Bitcoin's. So never say never, except probably never. The chance of Luna getting back to $1, almost certainly never. There's also some weirdness going on because Terra's Bitcoin reserves, the Bitcoin that was using to back its token, has nobody can really know where it is. It's been moved a couple of times and no one really knows what's happened to it, so who knows. That's a bit shady. I found this, and it might be a smoking gun, because I covered on a prior video that you can go and check out that BlackRock and Citibank might have been behind the UST attack, and So if you haven't seen that, go and check that out. But this certainly seems to be a smoking gun. BlackRock and Fidelity invested 400 million in the USDC stablecoin issuer Circle. So is this a smoking gun? I don't know. It certainly seems that they had some level of motive for other stablecoins not to do as well. But the main thing to take away from this is we're just starting to see this, and I fear this could lead to bad news for stablecoins. South Korea has launched an emergency review of cryptocurrencies following the Luna and UST crash. When things like this blow up, when things like this happen, it's too easy for these regulators to step in and go, oh, we've got to protect our investors. Can't have people getting wrecked like that. So, and then, you know, draconian laws are often put in place, and silly rules and exclusions perhaps for people that aren't accredited investors or high net worth individuals. This could be a concern going forward. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But hopefully we don't see too many other regulators try to do this under the name of an emergency review or invoking emergency powers. But this is the real problem when things blow up. This is the real problem that can occur off the back of it. And so just one point to remember, that all alts are eventually just going to be an update that will be added to the Bitcoin protocol. And once built on top of the Bitcoin base layer, there's no longer a need for that alt. So just keep that in mind. I found this today. I had a giggle at this. Bitcoin has no future as a payment network, says the FTX chief. This guy is a sellout, and I'll prove it to you. First of all, the Lightning Network is bringing payments back to Bitcoin. This has been going on for a while now, and the Lightning Network allows for instant or near instant settlement with Bitcoin for free or nearly free. So the Bitcoin network payments have jumped over 400%, and 80 million users have access to the network now. So I don't know what he's talking about, trying to say that it's inefficient. He goes to the standard argument somewhere of saying that it's bad for the environment. High environmental costs. High environmental costs. Yeah, if you haven't seen my prior videos on that, serious environmental concerns, and he's talking about going to proof of stake in here somewhere, saying proof of stake would be better or whatever else, blah 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 blah. You know the deal. If you don't, I'll put some cards in the top right screen for this, so you can go and figure out why. I got no time or respect for this. Like I say, Lightning is progressing forward, is doing really well, so he's completely wrong. And I'll show you a thread which will flag that this guy might not be the nice guy that everyone thinks he is. I'm dropping the towel, says this guy. They may come from an industry of finance. I come from an industry of cybersecurity. So they've upset this guy, a cybersecurity guy. And he goes on to, I'm not going to read the whole thread, but he goes on to prove that they had a massive amount of spoofing going on the FTX exchange, all the way from 28k to 69k, as part of their political lobby. So many of these orders had up to a 98.1% cancellation rate. So these two have been doing some shady things to the market, spoofing orders, so on and so forth. They also were on record for giving a lot of money to this person right before the thing in November 2020. And then straight afterwards they obviously start acquiring arenas and pushing huge marketing campaigns, so on and so forth. So I'd encourage you to go and read this thread, but there's some shady things going on with this guy, and you'll probably want to investigate this for yourself. Found this from BTC Fuel. Is ETH BTC about to break out just like the Nasdaq did back here? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. And just to update on my current positions, I'm waiting for the New York Open, and just to make sure, I'll watch the first two 15-minute candles to make sure that we don't get destroyed or something like that. But I'll be, even if we do, that just means I might enter slightly later in the day, but I'll be looking for a long anywhere in here, with the first overhead resistance being this resistance line here. So if you haven't watched the deep dive technical analysis video from Saturday, that explains my plans. If not, this is the first step, and then we'll be looking to make another decision, close and flip short, or add to the position on a break of this trend line as and when we get there. And the other thing I'm looking at is silver at the moment. Silver, it's not broken out yet, but I think it's about to. I think it wants to. So I'm not going to try and front run this. I'm not going to try and guess. I'll wait for an actual breakout, and preferably a breakout retest resumption. But I'm looking to line up a long for silver here as well. Bitcoin currently trading above 30,000. Are we just going to sort of chop around for a bit? I don't know. Are we going to get one of these fractals play out? We'll continue to monitor this, and I'll update as and when I think there's something to update on. So if you found value here today, I'd appreciate it if you could follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and until tomorrow, I'm your boy Camel. Take care. Bye.